Hey Donna,
Hello.
we are at our fourth episode, and today we're gonna talk about how to step into courage and how to stay there.
It feels scary just even just the whole sentence.
Yes, yes, it does a little bit. First thing I want to talk about, I think, when we have real courage, um, with our real self, and when we pretend to have courage, because I think they are two different things, and I do both of them, I think. And when I do the not real courage, then it's easier, basically, because it's not really what something that I do, the real me. So it's already something that a pretended me does. But when it comes to real courage, then I just want to say I think it's smaller stuff than we think courage is
Mm.
usually. For example, um, having a really bad period in your life and being able to get up from bed and go out public and things like that.
Do you have any examples like for each sort of type of courage you're talking about?
Yeah, for example, when I teach, I think I sometimes have that pretended courage when I am already in a teacher kind of identity, and then I am feeling it's going really well, it's I'm doing really good with the students, but then after the class sometimes I realize I was not even noticing some huge things with them, and I was mostly just asserting how confident I am.
So
You
it's
know the feeling?
like your ego. As,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
Right. The other part, yeah, there was, I say subjectively, of course, hard period in my life in 2016. I remember well. And then it was courageous for me. Um, I was quitting my job, my first job ever, and it was a summertime, so there was like a holiday season, and but I was feeling a little bit in like a vacuum, or like in a
Mm.
space that had no ground, a little bit, like connection wise as well with
Do
my.
you, do you mean like feeling a bit ungrounded?
Yeah, of course, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
And then I give credit to myself that I was able to get up from bed and just do sometimes the minimal stuff, like eat and like manage a day with ordinary things. Then being able to reconnect with people more and more, but it was a slow process, and I think it was pretty courageous, a time that required my courage.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I think I learned a lot about courage.
Yeah. It sort of just triggered a memory for me when we lost our family business
Mm.
in 2013. I think it was around that time, and that had been going for 64 years. It was very familiar. We'd had hard times, and but it had run its
Was
side
that a family business?
family business, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and I remember when it was coming towards the end, I've never felt so scared about what my future would be, or what the family future would be, let alone letting go of all of the amazing staff that we had as well, which was equally distressing. um, and then when it finally, the business did go, um,
Hmm.
it was very surreal. It was like really stepping into the unknown, and
Oh.
where do we go
And
from
what's next, right?
yeah,
Like the unknown is really scary. And you don't know. And like it's really thin what you know for sure.
absolutely. And I remember I went in to do a couple of jobs. I think I worked in a children's home for a little while. I
Mhm.
went and worked with some horses for a friend.
Mm.
And I was also I was training to be a therapist and a counselor at the
Mhm.
time. And it was literally like spinning plates, you know, when you see those
Mhm.
people,
Mhm.
it was
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
oh my God, where do I go? What do I do? Just trying to keep afloat, actually.
Yeah.
And that I'm actually really grateful that I had the avatar tools, which really helped me stay grounded in a very ungrounded time, um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and help give me the confidence to move forward. And we created a new business a year later, I think it was. It took
So
work.
yeah, it was an ending that period. But with courage, I think it's a like a really nice saying. You know, sometimes people get a tattoo with this sentence. It's these two shall pass, or something like this.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
reminder, also for positive stuff, but for negatives as well.
yeah, because
That it's gonna end
nothing
at a
lasts
point.
forever, if you do,
Yeah.
unless you decide it to. You know,
Yeah.
it's with courage. I think it is stepping really out of your comfort zone and trying things out. And I tried a couple of jobs in that time,
Mhm.
and I found out what didn't work for me. So I don't look at it as a bad view that the jobs that I did try and it
Mhm.
didn't work out. I just thought it reminded me, okay, that's not what I want to do. So that
Mhm.
was really, I
Mhm.
think, researching and just doing it,
Mhm.
trying different things. And uh, thankfully we created a new family business. It's been very successful. So it was a blessing in one way. We had to go
Mhm.
through all
The hard
the
times.
stuff to get to the other side.
You know what I'm thinking? Sometimes the basic stuff is requiring the most courage of us. I tend to think like originally I am a shy person, but lately I'm not behaving as a shy person.
Mm.
Just in situations that really has like a significance, then it shows. I think that I can turn into like a shy or introverted person. So to
Yeah,
speak my mind honestly, openly, whatever, you know. And also I'm gonna connect this with my social media activity, like sharing whatever I feel like. I know it's taking courage. So I think courage is an everyday thing that is there with us in every moment, almost, with whatever we do or
I
not do at
or
the
not
end
to,
of the day.
I completely agree with that, because another aspect of having courage, what I've learned, is because I too was very mouse-like in some ways, where I wouldn't
Mhm.
speak up in the moment if something didn't feel right. I
Mhm.
just maybe I'm
We are too critical or too picky with ourselves.
yeah. And also I think I was worried about what people thought of me,
Hmm.
or judging me,
Me
or
too.
I said the wrong thing, and
Absolutely.
how
Yeah.
would they you know, and it's I've learned over the years that and I probably went a little bit over, where I would speak
Hmm.
and overshare too much, like
Over. Yeah. Then it goes to the other extreme.
society goes to the other side,
Yeah.
then you can be a little bit imposing on people, and it's like maybe they're just
Yeah.
not
Of
ready
course.
to hear that.
Of course, it's not comfortable for
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. But still being unexclusively ourselves is, I think, a very valuable thing. Beautiful when someone can be just fully present, fully themselves without any restriction. And it's courage, pure courage, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of examples. I wouldn't even know where to start with. I think giving myself credit more so these days. I never used to give myself credit. If I was doing something courageous, I'd probably be quite dismissive. Someone might say, oh, that's amazing what you just done. I'd be like, it's not bad. You know, but I'd put myself down rather than going, oh, right, okay, that was quite big what I did there, you know.
Yeah. Or you just give credit for a moment and then okay, it's gone. And then you are already at the next thing, which you are, pedaling, and you still a challenge for you and struggling through. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's one thing that I used to be really scared of, was speaking in front of people. I mean, even just speaking on this podcast, I still feel a bit nervous, I have to say, of saying the wrong thing, or
Or not
stalling.
saying anything. Nothing comes to our mind.
Yeah.
Like
I was this is how shy I was. I remember at school, every year we used to have like shows or have to go on stage. For some reason, I don't know how I did it. I always got out of it. So I didn't have to get up on the stage and talk in front of the school or do a poem or whatever it was that was needed. But what I realized now, I didn't gain any confidence. It kept me small because I didn't stretch out my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until later on in years when I had to stand up and give presentations, when I was doing my counseling training and things like that, and having an audience there, and that's when I started to, because I started doing it. And I think it doesn't matter if you make a mistake.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you stall or if you get things wrong.
Actually, there was a research. Sorry, I'm coming with a psychologist mind here.
Yeah.
So I know about some researches where they put a coffee stain on one of the students had to talk to a big crowd of their classmates, student mates, and some of they were like to be elected. So they were in a group, and the student had to choose which one should be elected, and some of them got a coffee stain on the t-shirt, and it turned out that the ones who got the stain were more liked by the crowd because they were showing themselves to be human.
Right. Yeah.
So we can connect through our imperfections. You cannot connect to someone who is perfect, right? Like,
who's perfect?
yeah, no one.
Or what is perfect? I don't know.
Yeah.
How do you learn things is having the courage to get up and do it. It's when you don't do things.
Yeah.
Keep yourself small.
Yeah.
In the comfort zone.
Yes. Which is comfortable.
Yeah.
But we get to learn to feel comfortable being uncomfortable, because that's what's the growing zone, and that's how our life is getting excited.
That's really key. I remember
and growing, and who doesn't want to grow? I mean, like, deep down in their hearts, or our hearts, I think we all want to get to somewhere that we wished for when we were little, or we still wish for, right? Like,
yeah.
For example, I like to pose, like, when someone had a camera, I always wanted to be in the camera and like show myself and still feel that. So I think doing a podcast like is a perfect opportunity for me. Like, it's taking me, I feel it's taking me somewhere that I kind of want to go, and it's great.
a
But
lot
it
of
takes
learning,
courage.
isn't it? Yeah.
But yeah, then it gives you the salt and pepper of life, because without some stress, then it's all boring.
Yeah. I was just thinking about like a public figure that I think has had a lot of courage, and Tina Turner passed away this week.
Yeah.
And I've seen lots of things on social media and the TV, and the main theme that I've seen is how courageous she was. Through
I don't know much about her. What did she do?
well, she was a singer, famous singer.
I know that.
Yeah, and
That's what I know.
and she had her up, you know, her when she started a life, it wasn't great, and she was in a quite a bad relationship with Ike Turner, and it's all everyone. If you can look up documentaries about it, but she persevered through it and kept going, and it must have taken so much courage to keep moving forward
Keep going.
and
Yeah.
staying successful. And that's what you said at the beginning about having the courage and staying with the courage. So it's really moving through the resistances, moving through the stress,
the hardships in your life.
and the pain and the suffering.
A similar person in my mind is Jennifer Lopez. I love her. For example, she came from Bronx, as far as I know, and she is a hard worker. But she gained the confidence for it, and she just, the people who has courage, I think there is some kind of slay or like coolness in them that you cannot deny from them, because it's just there,
and I think most of us at some point have had, either we deliberately do something for ourselves, like go get a new job, decide to get a new job, or decide to move somewhere, or decide to go traveling. You have to have courage to do something like that, because you don't know what to expect. And I think in essence we've all got it in us. It all depends where you want to go with it, really. And I think it's so fulfilling. Of my experience moving through my fears has only made me grow.
Of course, I believe. And I realize now what I really wanted to say in the beginning is that courage is not always the loudest person in the room. And when I told about the pretended courage stuff, I meant that you can be courageous just knowing that you're gonna make it. Just the intention comes, and then when the intention is there, when the idea is there, when you just know it, don't have to say anything, then that's courage.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I'd like to do. I'd like to read a little passage from the Avatar Path.
Yeah, nice. There is a book, it's called The Avatar Path.
Yeah, this is it here.
It's written by Harry Palmer, who made the Avatar course, and this is connected to the Avatar course that we sometimes mention here in the podcast. And Donna is going to read. Can you give the chapter name?
Yeah, it's chapter 15, and it's a little paragraph I'm going to read from there regarding preserving your creative source power.
Okay. Yeah, sounds nice.
Yeah. Okay. So living deliberately requires courage, wisdom, and ambition. At the core of courage is the ability to perceive what is as it is, while staying present and aware. You do not run away and hide. At the core of wisdom is the ability to predict the long-term consequences of actions and the human reactions they will cause. At the core of ambition is vigorous, focused effort. Increase these qualities, keep them in balance, and you will recover your power to create and shape realities.
Nice. What we earlier talked about this, then the next episodes would be about either ambition or power or wisdom. So it's also going to lead us to the next episodes. And I want to say, I think, to the listeners and the viewers that I wish them to try out staying with the things as they are in the coming weeks or days, because when we are able to stay in a connection, just there, not hide, just there, sometimes it's just now I'm sweating a little bit saying that. It takes a lot of courage, but it's gonna be very, very rewarding. And for this, we are gonna, I think we should give a little help, and let's do the compassion exercise again. What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, so we also do the compassion exercise, the Avatar Compassion Project, and this eases the connection actually with someone, because it increases the compassion that we feel toward that person, and it is done on one individual, what we usually choose for ourselves. But if you are in a crowded place, or you're listening this in a crowded place, you can just delicately choose one of the person around you or people around you. So the goal of the exercise is to increase the amount of compassion in the world. And this exercise can be done anywhere that people congregate: airports, malls, parks, beaches, etc. It should be done on strangers, unobtrusively, from some distance. Try to do all 5 steps on the same person, and the expected results are a personal sense of peace. Donna, choose a person, please, that you wanna do this exercise with, and meanwhile, the listeners and the viewers can also choose one.
Okay, I've got someone.
Okay, great. With attention on the person, repeat to yourself: just like me, this person is seeking some happiness for his or her life. With attention on the person, repeat to yourself: just like me, this person is trying to avoid suffering in his or her life. With attention on the person, repeat to yourself: just like me, this person has known sadness, loneliness, and despair. With attention on the person, repeat to yourself: just like me, this person is seeking to fulfill his or her needs. And with attention on the person, repeat to yourself: just like me, this person is learning about life. And let's close with the quote about love, also from Harry Palmer. Love this is an expression of the willingness to create space in which something is allowed to change.
Awesome.
Thank you very much for all the all the people who were listening to us in this episode. The next episodes, we can't wait, will come in 2 weeks as usual. And have great days until then.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
See
you.
you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.